Welcome to the Sneaking Into the Movies podcast. I'm Max Nathan.
And I'm Norman Davis. And this week, we're sneaking weapons into the theaters. That's right. We're talking about Zach Cregger's newest movie, Weapons.
Sneak in with us, and let's go.
Let's do.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Movie doing incredibly well, has a great cinema score, great reviews. I guess that leaves us to talk about if it's so great or not. I guess I'll go first. I thought this movie was spectacular. I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was very excited coming off Barbarian. I guess, do you want to get into the kind of history with this movie? Very interesting.
Yeah. Get a little into the history, because there's some interesting history with this one.
So yeah, there's a lot of interesting history on this movie. Very notably, if you're very online like us, you probably saw this, but when this movie, or the script was being flown around to be sold, it was very, very, very high regarded. People were losing their minds over this thing. People were throwing money at this. And kind of famously now, depending on who you're asking, Jordan Peele fired a lot of his team very coincidentally close to when this bidding war went down. And it's assumed because he didn't get this movie. Obviously, like we said, landed with New Line and Warner Brothers, which, I don't know about you, Max, that is the only marketing I need for this movie. Is Jordan Peele was so mad that he couldn't help make it that
Yeah.
he threw away his team.
Yep. That he's worked with forever, by the way, and is the same management team that Zach Cregger has as well.
Yeah, so I get it now, though. This was a really good movie. What did you think? I know you were also very, very excited.
I loved it, but I feel like that goes without saying. I just said Barbarian was like the greatest movie ever made. No hyperbole. So, I thought this was fantastic. I think he really stepped it up in just about every way. Barbarian feels like a very small movie. It's just, a couple actors in a house, basically, and then some caves, as Barbarian goes. Don't want to spoil too much of Barbarian if you haven't seen it, but we probably will later on this podcast. So if you haven't seen Barbarian, just close it down, go watch Barbarian, come back.
Good movie.
Great movie. Just the best movie. But yeah, no, I think that, there's a lot of thematic ties between Barbarian and this movie as well that I was kind of picking up on during the movie. He just seems to be very interested in like social cues and like the social contract that we have with each other, and when you choose to abide by the standard social cues and when you manipulate them to your advantage, and who does that, and how can people take advantage of them. Barbarian is very much about that with, you see the Frank character dressing up as a handyman, sneaking into these ladies' houses, unlocking windows and breaking back in later, or it's implied that he breaks back in later and kidnaps them. This movie, I mean, should we just full spoiler?
Let's just go. This? You can't really talk about this movie without spoilers.
You can't. You can't.
The marketing felt like such a mystery. Great marketing.
Incredible. Oh my God. They immediately wrongfoot you. Like, were you, when okay, spoilers. We're fully in spoilers. So if you haven't seen Weapons, get out.
Go see it.
Yeah, go watch these movies.
Or if you're a scaredy cat, keep listening.
Yes.
Maybe wait to watch it on HBO or something.
Yes. But the marketing. You raise a very good point. They wrong-footed us so many times with the marketing. Like, immediately, in the trailer they say, 17 kids walked out into the night and they never came back, and all this whole entire class was gone. But in the movie, you start off with, there's actually one kid there, and you're like,
Yeah.
This is not what I was expecting. What did you think when you saw that?
I was like, I thought it was just cool because I was like excited. I feel like the marketing didn't really, like we said, give anything away. This is the same with Barbarian. That movie, total bait and switch there. There's a whole cast and world in that movie that wasn't in any of the marketing. but yeah, no, I was immediately hooked. I was like, well, you forgot to tell me about this little kid, huh? What's his deal? This all has to do with him, doesn't it? Kind of does. But yeah, no, I really like that because they could have easily been like, except for one kid in the marketing, and then yeah,
that would have thrown things off. The hook is more interesting from a marketing perspective if you say everybody's gone, and then when we get there, you're like, wait a second, they lied. That's crazy. I just know you were levitating in your seat when George Harrison plays as the kids are running out of the house.
Dude, like 5 minutes in, you can see my boy right there. I'm a big George Harrison guy. And I was just like, let's go. George Harrison, like 5 minutes in, this is going to be a banger.
Yeah. Yep. I liked that tone. Like, he's very good at manipulating tone. Like, in the marketing, that's all very, used as very scary, table setting stuff again. But in the movie, it's with the George Harrison song, it's a very different vibe, and it gets you excited to watch the rest of the movie, but doesn't spook you. It's just like, wow, this is just such a slick choice here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really like that too. What were some of the most shocking things for you? Like, we talked about there being one kid and, the George Harrison song being a kind of, juxtaposition with what's going on in the movie. What were some of the parts of the movie for you that you were just really not expecting? Because both this and Barbarian thrive on the unexpected.
I think just all the characters we spent so much more time with than I thought. A lot of people were saying this is his Magnolia. That kept getting thrown around, the PTA movie. Yeah, I kind of get what they mean now with the whole kind of different perspective things. Different Magnolia, but it's a story for another day. But yeah, just like how much time, like when they cut to the title card name of was Justin, was
Justine. Yeah.
Justine, was that the junkie kid?
No, the junkie is James. That's Austin Abrams.
James. Yeah, Austin Abrams. Like when it cut to him, I was like, what? And then it was just so good.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest one for me. I thought wouldn't be so focused on the entire ensemble, but it makes sense when you get such a big cast like that.
Yeah. I wasn't particularly shocked by any one of the, where the perspectives that they used for the story. Like, I kind of thought, like, Austin Abrams' part would be a little bit more fleshed out. Because, I don't know, I thought everybody was going to get something. And, oh my, I've been watching Austin Abrams since The Walking Dead. I don't know, you were watching when that was going on, right?
Yeah, I was on and off Walking Dead. It wasn't the biggest loyalist, but yeah.
That Austin Abrams season where he spoilers for The Walking Dead now, but he's the one that shoots Carl in the eye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little shit. But yeah, no, I've been watching this guy since then, and he is fantastic in everything. Walking Dead, Euphoria. I even liked that Wolves movie he was in that no one else liked. Did you end up seeing that, Norman?
Wolves?
The one with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, the Apple movie that everybody, nope. John Watts Apple movie.
Nope, you just said like 8 things I didn't like in a row.
Yep.
Just kidding. I like George Clooney. But I thought he was great in this though.
He's the best. And he actually, this movie had two timelines of production. Before the strike, Pedro Pascal, Brian Tyree Henry, and Renate Rencive, I might have butchered that last name. She's the worst person in the world. From the movie The Worst Person in the World. They were all attached to be in this movie at one point. And Austin Abrams was a part of that original cast, and he was the only one that stuck around to this cast. And he's also a method actor, so he stayed 35 pounds underweight for that whole delay between, before the strikes and then after the strikes when they got going again. So yeah, he just really wanted to be a part of this movie. He saw Barbarian, he loved it, and he just really wanted to be a part of this movie. He was the only guy that stuck it out, and I'm glad he did because he is probably my favorite part of this movie. If I'm
he was awesome. I loved all of that. Let me ask you something about the whole movie.
Yeah,
How often did you find yourself laughing during this movie?
so much. He's kind of, it's kind of corny using the word master like 2 movies into his career, or more than 2 movies. He's got some like Miss March and stuff that he doesn't like to talk about, but yeah, I think he is like a master of tone and shifting tone, because I saw this movie twice. Okay, so I saw this movie on the opening night, not the opening night. I saw it at the 2:17 p.m. like first showing you could go to, and then on Friday night I was just perusing through my AMC app as I do as an A-lister, and then I was just looking at Weapons 10:15 p.m. IMAX. I was shocked to see. I mean, it's opening night, so there's going to be a lot of people there. But this was a 10 o'clock show, packed. And I was like, I got to go to this. There's only one time you can go to an IMAX 10 o'clock packed showing for Weapons. And this is the time. So I went, and during that viewing, I was doing some more, like, people watching. Like, I had already seen the movie. I was not, as locked in. Like, I wasn't stressed or, whatever, watching the movie. I was just, looking around, listening to the surroundings. And, man, Mr. Cregger has these fucking people on a string, dude. Like, oh my god, when the mom, who we learn is Alex's mom later on, comes out with the scissors and is just walking out of the house, my entire crowd was just, like, losing it. And then when you get to the car door opening, just my crowd lost it. Dude, like, and it's the kind of thing where it's like they're like going like they're like like freaking out, scared, but they're also like laughing with it. It's the kind of movie that's just fun, and I was wondering if you had any kind of experience like that with your audience.
I'm gonna say, unfortunately, I went to a full house like 9:45. Like,
yeah,
barely anyone was laughing. It was just me and my friend, and I don't know. I think people were enjoying the movie. I'm not trying to say people weren't. Like,
yeah,
people were. I heard a lot of holy shit and stuff on the way out.
Yeah,
but the car door thing got everyone. But most of the time, like, some funny stuff was happening. Just no one was laughing or nothing.
They were just all locked in, which I can understand. I can understand that.
Yeah,
like,
I get that too.
It's an intense movie. It depends on how you react to it, and it also depends on who you're with, because some people, not everybody likes to, like, I'm not typically the one that's emoting in the movie theater. Like, I like listening to other people around me who are flipping shit. Like, I rarely even laugh during movies. It's got to be something really fucking funny for me to, like, laugh out loud. I laughed out loud a couple of times on my first viewing, and on the second viewing, but, I had seen it before, so it was a little less funny. But yeah, no, I laughed out loud when you get that jump scare in the Josh Brolin dream, and he jumps to the back of his bed and goes, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that got me too.
That was good. What was the other time I laughed out? There was a second time I laughed out. Oh, when after the kids, or Josh Brolin is walking through the destroyed house after Gladys and the kids run through, and there's a guy that says, "Oh my god, honey, look what they did to the yard." Mm-hmm. That was the second time where I was like fucking lost it. But yeah, no. What did you think was funny in this movie?
Like you said, the car door scene, everything with Austin Abrams.
Yeah,
This is also, I think, like the coolest shot in the movie. But one of the funniest ones is, when the aunt and all the kids are running, and there's just like that one tracking shot on that little girl just like running through doors and stuff. I was dying. But yeah, no, I thought it was an intense movie, but it was pretty damn funny, like almost start to finish. There was always something that kind of had me smiling or chuckling.
I totally agree. It's a very funny movie. Very similar to Barbarian in that way. Like, both this and Barbarian are pretty, like, I describe Barbarian as like a horror comedy, which it is, but it's very much half horror, half comedy. So, like, for example, like, I told my aunt, like, hey, this is a funny movie. Let's watch this. It's very good. Mm-hmm. All the comedy is kind of like in the second half of that movie. You know what I mean? And it gets pretty funny. But the first half is pretty intense. So it's like,
yeah,
we didn't make it to that second half. Let's just Let's just say that. But yeah, no, the comedy's a little more sprinkled through here, and it's all very funny. I think like also Austin Abrams walking up to the two possessed parents and just going face to face like, "You good?"
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the funniest thing. It was just incredible.
What was his line? Oh fuck, Willow, when he's picking up the DVD.
Yeah,
that killed me.
That got a
one of my
lot of
favorite
laughs on mine. Yeah, no. Have you seen Willow?
I have seen, not for a long time, but
Do you enjoy Willow?
I was like a kid. I think I thought it was fine, but do you?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I have no awareness of it, but I know people like it.
They made that Disney Plus show that got
Like
eviscerated
shadow banned. Like
eviscerated from the world and our brains,
Yeah.
like the Mr. Krabs rewinding.
yeah, put that in the Phantom Zone. Bobby Iger's Phantom Zone, just like the
Yeah,
Barbarian Blu-ray, man. And
Just like the Barbarian Blu-ray.
Tough
We were
shit.
just talking about this, but for those of y'all that don't know, Barbarian still doesn't have Blu-ray. Very, very sad.
we're gonna get one.
Same with
Weapon-
Megalopolis. I've been thinking about that a lot, but it's kind of intentional, I think.
Yeah.
Apparently, Old Man Francis was chopping up the movie.
Yeah, you got to catch Francis in your town to watch that movie. So
Mm-hmm. We're
Next
the only
time-
two people who saw it.
yeah. Megalopolis, man, that was another good one. That was a good one. One of
People
our
didn't get it,
most
man.
one of our most listened to episodes of this podcast, by the way. Interestingly,
I wonder, it's probably because no one saw it. You know,
people are just
I
like,
feel
"What the fuck is going on
I
there?"
feel like people will see something like this and they're like, "Oh, I already saw Weapons. I don't need someone to tell me it's good."
Yeah,
Megalopolis, yeah, it's like that was a good one.
yeah,
We'll be here for Megalopolis too, by the way. For those-
yeah.
Sounds like we got a Megalopolis fans
yeah.
in there in the audience. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
Truly.
back to Weapons.
Yep.
Not to get on a little Megalopolis.
The mega tangent.
Mm-hmm. Happens every time.
Yeah, was there anything you didn't like about Weapons, Norman?
Not really off the top of my head. I'm seeing it again Tuesday. I couldn't
Okay.
see it again before we recorded here.
Yeah.
I'm excited just, now that I know how it all plays out.
Yep.
I didn't really have any glaring issues with this movie. I really, really had a good time start to finish. I liked watching it unravel. I wouldn't even call this a complaint. It felt like ridiculously long, but I was totally fine with that. Like, I felt like I could have lived in that world forever, but that really
Yeah.
felt like a 5-hour movie. I don't know about you.
I do think it felt long, and yeah, I would have stayed there for 10 hours. But they do a good job of like giving you enough to fill in the gaps where you don't have the information, in the previous story. Like, it's satisfying every time, pretty much. I just hit my microphone, but it's satisfying pretty much every time. Don't you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, it was, like I said, it was really fun playing out. It really felt like this big, grand, epic movie, which
For
is
real.
what we need. Just big, grand, epic, crowd-pleasing kind of movie.
Mm-hmm. I will say though, okay, here's my little premium format tangent. I feel like this movie would be better served in Dolby because it doesn't have any IMAX. Like it got a big like IMAX push because they're trying to eventize it, and I get it. And seeing it in an IMAX theater is cool, but like we kind of left Dolby in the back seat. Like Dolby's pretty good. Like when you don't have like the the expanded stuff. Like I'd rather see the movie in Dolby. But
Ever since the companion incident, I'm very particular. Or if a movie's not in IMAX, I'm not seeing it in IMAX.
yeah,
So, funny story. I saw this just regular because I didn't want to pay the extra $15 whatever to go see it in IMAX because I know it wasn't shot for IMAX.
yeah,
All the Dolbys needed were playing Freakier Friday, so we didn't even get Weapons
right,
at Dolby.
yeah,
So it was IMAX or bust, and we went with bust. But
I'm sure Freakier Friday was taking some pretty good advantage of that Dolby system. All the
I guess. I mean, it made a lot of money also somehow.
yeah,
So someone was seeing that.
yeah. Maybe Jake Sully shows up, and that's why they did the Dolby.
Maybe.
They gotta,
But yeah, I'm curious how many people went and saw this in IMAX. I mean, you said it was pretty packed for you. My screenings were looking pretty full. I was screen watching all weekend, trying to
It's
see where this movie's gonna land.
it was packed. It was packed all weekend. I was thrilled looking at the seat maps on these. It's great. People are going to see this. It looks like it's going to open to 70 million. Did you see that?
It's like 75 million worldwide. A
That
little
is
over
a
45 here.
big old number.
Yeah, no, sometimes the movie just looks good. That's all it needs.
Yeah.
I was talking with a buddy about this. Like, I could see this kind of going the Sinners way, where such good word of mouth, everyone's really liking it. I haven't seen a lot of people who haven't liked this movie. But
Yeah.
yeah, like a very low drop in between week to week.
A- cinema score, which is rare for one of these movies, like a horror movie.
Definitely. I'm curious to see how it's going to look Tuesday, because that's, discount Tuesdays. Those theaters just fill up now for everything, it feels like.
Yep.
I saw Naked Gun last Tuesday.
Yep.
It was packed.
They're doing discount Wednesday now at AMC, I think, which is pretty cool. They're expanding the discount, which is good because it brings people in.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a ton of sense. Those days that people, like, they're not going to go, so why keep it at $15 or whatever?
Yeah.
But yeah, especially with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna make a lot of money with those IMAX and stuff.
Yep.
It's crazy. This got IMAX and Jurassic Park didn't.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
guess
learned today?
What's up?
Not to go on a little side thing.
Yeah.
The new Spider-Man's not going to be in IMAX at all. It's not even being shot for IMAX because it's coming out right after the Odyssey.
That is interesting. So, I mean, but this is the thing. We need the IMAX propaganda has gone too far. Dolby is pretty damn good too, and it should be respected as such. If Spider-Man's in Dolby, that's a perfectly good premium format for it. Like, if they didn't
If I'm
shoot
seeing
it,
Spider-Man, I want to see that in IMAX, but it is what it is.
I would want to see it in IMAX, but if it doesn't take advantage of the aspect ratio, like, I don't really care. So Norman, I absolutely love this movie, as you did, but there's one thing that that was rolling around in my head that I kept thinking about, like, what was going on there? What was the choice? What was the visual choice? What was the story choice? What was going on there? And that is, during Josh Brolin's dream, he sees an assault rifle above his house floating there. And then the number 217 flashes on the side of it, evoking the image of the alarm clock that says 217 when the kids run out. Norman, I just wanted to ask, like, what did you gather from that moment? What did you think it represented within Archer's subconscious? Or did you, like me, say, yeah, you got a little lost in the sauce on that one?
So Zach Cregger actually answered this. I don't know if you saw.
I did not see that. Okay.
And you might be a little surprised. So he essentially said that he didn't really get what it means. And he talked about Lynch and Lynch doing things in movies that didn't make sense. I should clear it up. For a lot of the things with Lynch's stuff, obviously it gets really weird and out there for those of y'all who don't know. But he always had some kind of purpose. Like, Lynch did know what it means. Lynch said that a bunch of times. All the weird stuff that happens in his movies and shows was intentional. So I think he just kind of thought of it and put it in there, which part of me is like, that's hard. Part of me is like, kind of hacky. But
Sure.
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, obviously, like, the kids are weapons. Ants weaponizing everyone. I don't know. It didn't make a ton of sense.
I mean, it does weaponize. I mean, weaponize. It does literalize the metaphor a little bit, if that is the interpretation, which I think is a fair assessment. But that was the one point in the movie where I was like, one, I don't know how this looks visually. It just looks like a CG gun on top of a house. Like, it looks like you just made that in, like, Blender or something like that just 20 minutes ago and just threw it in the movie. Didn't seem great, and then it just kind of ends up being just part of Archer's subconscious. It doesn't really have that much of an effect on the forward thrust of the story. But that was the one moment in the movie where I was like, I could have done without that, like
A little trying too hard.
yeah, it's just I didn't really need it. But Zach, you're the man. If you want to leave it in the movie, sure. If that's what you wanted, go for it, pal. I didn't really get it. But yeah.
Fair enough.
What do you think of the dream sequences? There's a lot of dream sequences in this movie.
I did like them. I thought they were very well shot, interesting. Like we just said with Brolin's dream, I don't think they kind of said enough. Like they were cool, they were well shot. They just kind of felt there more than anything in the movie. Like I wasn't bored during them or like, oh, why is this in here? But I don't know. They didn't totally justify themselves, I feel like. But they were cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how you felt about the other ones.
I would agree. Was there anything in the movie where, like, obviously you get information pieced together through the different perspectives. Was there any point in the movie where you were like, where you found something that was inconsistent between two of the perspectives? Or more?
No, I honestly, thought they killed it.
I found some inconsistencies, but like they were clearly intentional inconsistencies that I found very interesting. And here's my theory, and I think this is my personal headcanon. I want to know what you think of this, but I don't think Gladys is related to Alex and that family at all. I think that's a random old lady that descended upon that family who knew they had some kind of long-lost aunt and that she would be able to come in and manipulate that family because the dad says, it's your Aunt Gladys, this is what family does, we got to take care of her. Because there's an inconsistency between the relation the relation of Gladys to that family. We first learn about Gladys's relationship to Alex when she goes and talks to Marcus, played by Benedict Wong, in the principal's office of the school, and she says to Marcus that Alex's mom is her baby sister. Now, that is not what we hear later in the movie from Alex's mom when she says, "This is my aunt. This is my aunt, and my mom would have done this for her." And what did you?
I didn't really think about that. I definitely caught that though, because I remember being like, and she looked really old to be an older sibling. I mean, there's a lot of siblings with old. I have very young siblings, but there's a big stark difference there. That's interesting. I didn't really think about that, but I definitely see where you're coming from.
I like it because it feeds into that central theme of the movie with the manipulation of social constructs and the traditional like family archetype, and what the dad literally says, like, we're family, I guess we got to do this, and that is just built into the interaction because Gladys is saying she's the aunt. And that allows her to get so much more from them. And I just thought that was really, really well done and interesting. I'm trying to think of... I feel like there were some more sprinkled in that'll come to me. But, were there any little bits and pieces that you saw throughout where you were like, interesting. It could
not that it didn't add up, but I mean, I was piecing it together. I feel like as I went on, but the aunt thing, I did notice that. It's not enough to say something, but I remember being like, that's a little strange. That sounds like no one's got their story straight here.
Yep. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Another thing that I loved about this movie, I told you about, we had a conversation about on that catch-up episode. We did a bunch of movies. On that episode, I talked about Bring Her Back, did you end up seeing that or no?
I have it downloaded on my laptop, but I've not watched it yet.
Okay. So, Bring Her Back, I don't know if you remember me mentioning that I had a problem with the kids in that movie. And I have a general issue with kids in movies. Because most of the time, they are strictly used for like adult manipulation, like adults manipulating the kids, and the kids are just so stupid that they can't figure out what's going on, and that's how the story pushes forward. And I felt like that was happening in Bring Her Back. I don't really like that War of the World, like Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, because that kid just annoyed the shit out of me.
I thought you were talking about the new one, and I was like, you watched it?
No, 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 no. We're not giving that any airtime. Okay, we're not. That is like a, I don't know, what's the equivalent of like an industry plant meme. That is just like, that's Bezos manipulating the algos.
I will tell you, I do have plans to watch that later this week. So if we get 1 million likes on here, maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah, if we get 1 million views, if you repost this, we will watch War of the Worlds and talk about it. Begrudgingly, but we will.
We'll do an audio commentary.
Yeah, we'll do audio. We'll do a live audio commentary on Ice Cube's War of the Worlds, and it'll be brilliant. But yes, I totally forgot what I was talking about, Norman. What was
kids
I talking
in movies and about how they suck and they're just used?
Kids in movies, okay? They usually suck, and it usually bothers me whenever there's a kid in movies that the filmmaker just has no faith in kids, and that's why they just threw him in, and the kid is just there to be stupid and annoying. And I hate that every time. It doesn't even matter how good the movie is. I'm going to hate it. Man, Alex, they got it. This kid is smart. This kid is competent. He feels like a real grade school kid, and he has a lot of depth to him as well. He gets bullied at school, and for a second you think like, okay, maybe he, at first thinks like, maybe I could go along with getting back at my classmates here. Like, there's reason for him to be, he's scared for his parents. He really wants to protect his parents, and he also doesn't really give a fuck about his classmates because they fuck with him. They're just. Also, you learn that Josh Brolin's kid is the bully, which makes a lot of sense when you see a little bit of that relationship in the Josh Brolin dream sequence. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's really deep, interesting stuff, and I thought that the character of Alex was handled really well. It was like a kid that actually feels like a real kid who has, legitimate fear about the situation, but also feels realistic. Like, he's not doing things that feel like they jeopardize the entire situation. He basically saves the day at every turn. He is the only one in the movie that is totally aware of the situation the entire time. And you only learn that at the end. But yeah, I loved the way that they used Alex in this movie. What did you think of Alex?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like you said, kids are a lot smarter than movies would have you think. I have 2 brothers who are elementary school age, and they're very smart, and like they understand what's going on in the world, you know, and like what's going on in their surroundings. Which, I think a lot of movies are really bad about that. But yeah, Alex, like you could just really good acting on. I don't have the kid's name here, but he did a really good job.
We got to find it. We got to shout him out.
Find it, give him a little shout out. But yeah, no, just really good job with them. Like, you feel it. You could just see it in his eyes, like how scared he was, and like he had to feed everyone the soup and everything. And I just thought, he did an incredible job. That was probably my second favorite portion of the movie. Yeah,
his name is Kerry Christopher. So shout out Kerry Christopher, because he's a little movie star. So good on you, Kerry. You really made the movie worth watching. So yeah, no, we didn't talk much about Gladys. As the movie was progressing, did you have theories as to where we were going? Or was it a pretty big shock when you eventually learn that there's one person who is kind of a witch who's manipulating the entire town?
I don't know. The second she went to Alex's house and all the newspapers were on the window, I was like, is someone in that house? And then when we first see Gladys meeting with Marcus, I was like, oh, it's her.
We see Gladys in the dream sequences too.
Yeah. But that helped with, when she walked in being like, oh, that's her. No, I like the idea that it was just kind of one person coming around to fuck with everybody. Mm-hmm. And she was kind of doing it for no reason. Like, she said it was helping keep her alive.
I think so. Yeah. She said
but I just love the idea that she was just hating. Like, she just pulled up and to fucking ruin everything for everyone. And that's how she gets her powers. Yeah.
I don't know. She was clearly unsuccessful in whatever she was trying to do. Which was presumably like get younger. Like a fountain of youth situation. I thought she might have been eating the kids or something, because she mentions like, I'm gonna make your parents eat each other. Like, that was fucking crazy.
Let me ask you real quick. Did you
yeah.
think those kids were gone at any point during the movie? Like done for?
Like they were gonna kill him, or like they were dead?
Like they were gonna kill him when they were dead? Like, did you ever think that during the movie?
Not really, because the movie kind of hinges on like, where are those kids? And if they're dead, it's not as big of a, because like that would be the most likely option. Like they're buried somewhere or something like that, and that would be kind of like, I don't know. It's not as satisfying as watching a junkie stumble into the house not looking for the kids, and then they all just go like,
I'll just stand there.
like they hit the, they whip around to him all at once. That was nuts. Yeah, Zach Cregger loves basements, I guess. You're watching a Zach Cregger movie, all the nefarious stuff is going on in the basement. So
nothing good ever happens in a basement.
That's true. Nothing.
I've lived
going
in
on.
San Antonio and San Marcos my whole life. We don't have basements out here,
Mm-hmm.
just because there's not really tornadoes or any need for a basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything good happens in a basement. I feel like if I was a kid in my house and there was a basement, I'd be scared to go down there.
Yeah. I agree. The basement's always the scariest place to go in a movie. But yeah, no. What'd you think of the overall mystery there? Did you think those kids were done for? No.
I was like, no part of me. I did kind of think that whatever happened to them, like, which obviously this is how everything works with everything, but like would affect them. Like, whatever she was doing to them wasn't just like the parents weren't just going to pick them up and they're mommy, daddy, or whatever.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And I liked it because, I mean, everyone's trying to figure out what this movie's like really about. People have been talking about like school shootings ever since I feel like the first trailer came out. Like that could be a big theme of the movie just because it's about a group of kids who are disappearing. But yeah, like the movie was about grief to an extent. Zach Cregger said he wrote this movie because he lost a friend close to him. And he just like this idea that like grief never does go away. Like you do heal and you get better, but like you carry that with you for the rest of your life, no matter who it is or how close you are to them or whatever happened. But I really like how it ended with the kids. That, we don't know if those kids will ever be normal again, which when something tragic happens, especially like when you're a kid, like those are your formative years. Like that'll affect you for the rest of your life. And
you get a witch inside your mind that makes you, they ripped a lady apart. Like they full on ripped a lady's head off. And, it was the lady that had them under mind control, and they were mind control when they did it. But I imagine, if they were do they keep those memories, that's probably gonna affect you down the road.
The memory of being in a basement eating cold soup for a month.
Being fed by Alex Lilly for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really, really good movie.
Let me ask you: would you say this is your favorite movie of the year so far?
Yeah. But like I said, like it kind of goes without saying. Like this is my guy. This is my guy. This was my like event of the year, most anticipated probably going into the year, or whenever the trailer came out, it became the most anticipated of the year. I'm there for everything Zach Cregger does. We need that DC movie. We need that Resident Evil movie. The Resident Evil movie is supposedly coming out, but it's Sony, so who fucking knows?
Yeah, I'm really. I want to talk about that for a little bit, actually.
Let's go for it.
I'm a huge fan of those games. I've played all the games. I've played all the remakes. I'm a very, very big Resident Evil fan. I haven't really watched any other movies because they all are stupid. I watched parts of some of them, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of those games. So I've been very like, let's see if you can do it, Cregger. And he's such a good pick for these games. Like he kind of does like parts of like Resident Evil 2 in the movie. Like there's homages to Resident Evil in that movie for sure. Maybe not directly, but you can so tell. Like some of the shit with the gas station is very close to the opening of Resident Evil 2. That game opens in a gas station in a small town. It's very creepy vibes. You're trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, this movie was clearly made by somebody who plays and really likes the Resident Evil games. And a lot of the games, most of them, you play in different characters' perspectives, and then it all lines up at the end.
That's his thing.
That's kind of his thing now, yeah. So we'll see. He said that he doesn't want to do any of the game characters, which is probably a smart move, even though I think he's a really good director, and I kind of hoped he would use some of those characters. But yeah, no, he's such a good pick for this. And the fact that it seems like he really wants to do it. He doesn't seem like a guy who needs a paycheck job right now. He seems like he might.
He's going to have a blankest check ever.
Blank
after
check
this.
territory. Which is awesome to think about. And yeah, I would hate to see him get stuck in IP, but it seems like he really wants to do Resident Evil. And his DC movie you briefly mentioned, if you want to get into that for a second, just because.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much information on that. He's mentioned it a couple times in interviews where he said, like, he wrote a project wrote a script that's set in the DC universe that involves Joker and Harley Quinn, and involves, like, a kind of like a goon of theirs or something like that. Not much information on that beyond that little information that he said that it's in the DC universe.
Do you know what this goon does? Because he revealed a little more.
What did he say? What did he say, and where did he say it?
I think it was in a Deadline article.
Okay.
But he was kind of talking about it, where essentially this goon somehow incapacitates Batman, so he rises in the ranks of goons and Joker stuff. And I think it was through his eyes, but I think it was also more Joker and Harley stuff. So it might be more of that changing perspective thing. But yeah, it'd be really cool if it does that. But yeah, like we said, I think this guy's going into blank check territory.
Yeah.
Especially with Warner Brothers and their current producers and how much money they give to Jordan Peele. No, blank. What's his name?
Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jack Black and Jason Momoa. But yeah, no, like Bong Joon-ho got $200 million.
Yep.
Ryan Coogler did. PTA. That's my guy. That's my movie coming up.
That movie is going to be so good, and I don't think the box office is going to be as bad as people might project at this point in time. Like, I think, like, it's been in front of, like, I don't know. Like, I had this theory about, like, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is a great movie in its own right. But that movie played in front of Spider-Man No Way Home, and that's a way bigger deal than I think people ever mention when talking about that movie and how big it was. This movie has played in front of Superman. It's played in front of everything that's been in IMAX this summer. So if you went to the movies and saw a movie in IMAX, which is, you know, hefty chunk of people go see the movies in IMAX now. They saw this awesome One Battle After Another trailer, and I think that's gonna give it a little boost. You know.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you are right, but we will see. Yeah, Weapons. This isn't quite my favorite of the year, I will say. I still got 28 Years Later. That movie is melted into my brain.
Okay.
I'm excited to see it again, though. I really think seeing this again is gonna. I didn't give it like stars or nothing yet, but I think seeing it again, like, I'm gonna love it even more. And
yeah,
I did think this was like fantastic, and this is easily one of the best movies of the year. And I think this will be a modern day horror classic. This is a movie I see myself coming back to over and over and over again as time goes on.
For real. I couldn't agree more. Talking about the movie a little bit more, I think that it's just so great that this guy, like, I wrote in my Letterboxd reviews, I was like, sometimes I sit back and wonder if I imagine this dude, but somehow there's a real guy that made Barbarian and Weapons, and it's just what a time to be alive, man.
It's exciting, yeah. It gets me hopeful for the future, and he's made a name for himself. Like, whatever he makes next, you just put from the director of Weapons in front of that, and like, you are golden.
Yep.
And this movie's going to continue to do well. Could see a little Sinner's route where very small drop-offs, good word of mouth. Just a nice time.
If we can go the Sinners route and we get, you know, like a 0% drop-off next week, that'd be fan-fucking-tastic.
Sinners is going to end up, by the way, making more money, at least domestically, than all Marvel movies this year.
It's gonna make more than Fantastic Four. I thought Fantastic Four crossed like 400 recently.
Not domestically. Fantastic Four is falling off a cliff. Yeah, it had a really rough weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll see Doomsday. People think.
Yeah, I'm almost like halfway through Infamous Iron Man over here. So
Did you read Books of Doom?
I didn't read Books of Doom yet. I read. My mom is taking that one. I'm doing this one first, but this one is fucking cool. So
yeah, it's a cool book. I don't think the movie's gonna take much from it, other than maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a great book though.
Yeah,
and we still got like a year and a half till that.
No Marvel movies for a year. Maybe
it's pretty crazy. I think they're gonna start marketing Doomsday like tomorrow. Like I think they're not gonna shut up about this movie. I don't know if we'll get another round of those chairs, but
I mean they haven't shut up about Spider-Man. So I mean they've been pretty. They're out.
That movie's marketing itself, though. I mean, with all those set pictures and like they're shooting all that stuff outside, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like all those pictures with, I don't know if they're extras or just real people who show up. Like, I get it though. Spider-Man was shooting in my city. I'd be out there all day.
Yeah, you watching Spider-Man,
trying to get a picture for JJJ. Yeah. But yeah, it's very interesting. Just like the juxtaposition of Weapons doing so well and everything else not doing well. I think Weapons is going to end up making more than all those movies also.
Well, I mean, it's not like Weapons is the only thing that's done well this summer. Like, F1 is still... I look at the seat maps for F1. People are going to see F1. Like, I looked at, like, at 10:30 a.m. this morning on Sunday. That bitch was full. The entire thing. So, I don't know. I think, like, we've had F1, we've had Superman, we've had... Although Superman is kind of like... That movie had a big budget, so it's not going to get talked about as like a huge success, but it's going to make $600 million.
F1 also had a huge budget.
Yeah.
I'm not buying him the F1 propaganda.
You're not buying him the... You don't...
Well, you're an F1
people,
first of all, calling it an original movie, it's not. Like, you can't say that's a high-grossing original movie, or else, like, Barbie is the highest-grossing original movie ever. Which is not, because it's about Barbie. And I know Avatar is, but...
that's fair. I didn't think about it like that, but that's fair.
This is what I've been saying about the F1 original debate thing. 'Cause every week I see Discussing Film talking about how it's the highest grossing original whatever.
Yeah.
It's a Lego movie. Would you say that's an original movie?
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's a movie made to sell something.
I mean, it's not based on source material. As in, like...
It's based on, like, something, though.
It's based off something, but it's not based off a story.
So you could argue, like, most Marvel movies are original movies, then. Like, Iron Man 1, that's a completely original Iron Man story. It's not based off any... There's not a single Marvel movie based off any singular, like, comic run. Like, they take stuff from them. But, like, I wouldn't call, like, Infinity War an adaptation of Infinity Gauntlet. It's just, it takes a lot from that story.
Yeah, we need a new term for this kind of stuff.
It's like it's an IP movie, which it's fine. There's nothing wrong with like F1. Like it's not about superheroes. Like it's about racing and it's doing real well, which is cool. But
I think you're right. You've swung me over. I was a little bit, clinging to that original film thing, but you're actually right. That it's not.
It's called F1. Like it's about F1. Like it'd be one thing if it was called like Racing Champions and it was just about F1 drivers, but it's like called F1.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my little tangent it's because I didn't love the movie, but I'm tired of everyone calling it an original movie or something like Sinners is. Like that's an idea from a dude.
Yes.
And Weapons
is original. A little bit about Weapons, and just Barbarian and Weapons in general. Another thing that Zach Cregger is so good at is showing you something horrific, or quote unquote horrific, and then giving you the pieces to show you how this quote unquote horrific person came to be and isn't actually is a real person who has gone through shit and has problems and really, you really empathize. Like, the mother in Barbarian, by the end of that movie, like, the mother is like the scary monster in the movie that, bashes Bill Skarsgård's head in, does a bunch of bad shit. But the mother is the grand victim of the entire movie. And when she's picking up Tess, played by Georgina Campbell, at the end of the movie, and like trying to like coddle her and like keep her safe, like, you see her trying to be a mother to Georgina Campbell in that moment, and it's very like, it's fucked up, but it's sweet, and that's what I think he does so well. He gets you to empathize with this, the thing that was the monster for the rest of the movie, and in this one moment becomes something totally different. And there's a moment like that in this movie with Gladys, where Alex walks into the room, and Gladys is like fucking hurling into a pot or something like that, and she's like in tears, like she's crying. She looks just as scared as Alex is to be there in that one moment, and she's saying to him, like, I thought your parents would make me feel better, and it isn't. And like, she comes up with bring me an item from all of your classmates, and I'll maybe that'll make me feel better, and I'll go home. And the performance is so good because you can see this anguish in her eyes. This this is a person who has lived a life and is scared of something, scared of dying. I don't know quite what it is, but there's something there, and I felt for her in that moment. It's not like a character where you can go like, oh, piece of shit, like one-dimensional, like I can just be like, yeah, I can't wait for the kids to rip her apart. That was fantastic when that happens. And I didn't really feel bad for her when that happened, but it was like, that was a real character. That was not like, man, I'm going to put these kids in that was not a traditional, like, I'm going to put the kids in the basement and I'm going to eat the kids and like
cook them in a big old stew.
Yeah, no, she wasn't cooking them in a big old stew. She was like, I don't think she knew what to do. She didn't even know what to do with them. She just kept them there. Yeah. But that's a really cool thing that I think he's really good at. Yeah, that's he's just really good at that stuff. Norman, at one point in the movie, when the investigators come to the house, they send the kids back out into the forest. I wanted to ask you about that one time.
Thought that was funny.
Yeah. So they were out there at some point. They could have found them. I don't know where they went. We don't know where they went. They were
maybe the sewers or something that they weren't looking.
That would have been crazy if like there was one character that found them found a couple in the sewer or something like that. That would have been cool. But yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. On the second watch, I was like, wait a second, they went outside the house like during the movie. They were out there.
That was like she's trolling. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
I was like, this bitch.
I mean, yeah, this movie also has quite an opinion on like the police as well. Like, Paul is the one cop character. Yeah. The Paul is the one cop character in the movie, and he's also just, I also love the way that was another way they use the perspectives really well, is because like when you see him come into the Justine story, you think like, oh, like he's a character that cares about her and like, is responsible because he's like, oh, I don't want to drink and like yada yada yada. But then you realize when you get to his story, you're like, oh, this guy's a fuck. Like, he is like, whoa. Like, that was cool. That was nuts.
Very interesting. The one cop is an abusive alcoholic.
Yeah. Who also fucks up the investigation on multiple occasions. Like, they would have found those kids like way quicker if he was just not a character in this world.
Yeah, he was too worried about himself.
Yeah. So
really makes you think about cops and how they are and if they're all yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I guess, yeah, the moral of the story is you got something you want handled, you go do it yourself. You go get a map, get some Ring doorbell footage, draw some lines, the Justin Long when Justin Long showed up in the movie, this is my, like fucking, the 3 Spider-Mans showing up. My brother was sitting next to me. I was like, fuck it. That was
pretty cool.
I was elated to see Justin Long in this movie, and that part was really funny.
Those must have been some stupid fucking cops, by the way, if they had all that footage and like never was like, which direction are they running in? Like Josh Brolin figured that out pretty quickly. Like it didn't feel quick because obviously we're going through everyone's story, but in the grand schemes of like the day we spent with all these characters, I don't know. I thought that was funny.
He did deduce that pretty quickly and very, smartly. Gives you. He had very little information. I was still a little like, because you don't know. The one thing I was like, maybe not. The little logic hole you can poke in it is like they weren't all going in like a straight line. They had to like turn and shit. Like it's not like. Don't got to think about that.
That's why 28 years later better.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. But yeah, no. Good movie, cool movie.
Great movie, yeah. I was going to say, anything else you want to say to wrap us up here? I thought it was fantastic, a really good time. One of my favorites this year. Makes me happy, makes me excited about the future of movies as a whole.
Yep.
And we are going to get a lot of horror in the next couple of years. Not that we always don't, but this has been the year of horror overperforming.
Yeah, I wonder how the
horror
Black
with
Phone...
bigger... Oh, sorry.
I wonder how the Black Phone 2 is going to do.
I don't really know how the first one did, but it must have done well enough.
I think it did well. It did really well, I'm pretty sure. But
FNAF 2 will probably do pretty well.
That
movie did really well, and it was day and date on Peacock. It's not an original horror. I think there's Black Phone 2, I guess. But, yeah, like between Sinners and this, and 28 years later, like not even just horror movies doing really well, but bigger budget horror movies than... Most horror movies are made for, like, under $10 million or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's something like Sinners, I think, was that $100 million, probably more. 28 years later, same. Weapons at around 50. It's a lot. But they're making their money back. This is what people want to see.
Yeah.
They don't want to see Fantastic Four.
Rest in peace to your Fantastic
They kind of want to
Four,
see.
man.
They want to see Superman if they're from America, but no one else does. Which with everything going on, I don't blame them.
They're going to see Fantastic Four overseas some, I think. Like, that's doing a little better than Superman overseas.
Yeah, a little bit better. That was supposed to be, like, carry us to the finish line, and they're not really showing out. Like, it's trending down everywhere.
Yeah.
This ain't no Aquaman, where the whole world unites to make sure that movie makes $1 billion.
The whole world unites around Atlantis, man.
Yeah.
We were having that conversation the other day about, like Aquaman 2 is just a movie that pops into the mind every now and then. It's like, Aquaman 2. It's kind of good. It's
well directed movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that was our talk about weapons.
Yes.
Sneaking weapons into the theater.
Yes.
Don't actually do that.
No.
Don't play with weapons. Don't.
No.
I was gonna ask you your favorite weapon, but I thought that was a little inappropriate.
My favorite weapon is the little thing you got. You playing Fortnite this season?
The bug gun.
The bug gun.
Did you get a Power Ranger?
I didn't get a Power Ranger, but I have seriously contemplating spending real dollars to get those Power Rangers, and I'm a little concerned about that.
I got red because I had enough V-Bucks, but I'm pretty close to also spending real American currency to get the rest of them.
It is. It's a tough scene out here for
us.
us.
Duo though, do a little Power Ranger duo. I was playing a squad the other day, and I was trying to get my friends to buy them so we could.
Yep.
All be Power Rangers.
Yo, that'd be fire.
I know. Fire. I'm gonna buy Bree one so she has to, but don't tell her. She doesn't know that yet.
All right. She won't listen to this pod. She won't get this far in the podcast. Hopefully.
No, yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't listen. She doesn't care. I'm kidding. I know you care. But yeah, that has been our weapons and Fortnite talk for today.
Yes.
We will be back next week with more awesome stuff. Maybe some midweek episodes coming up, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Anything else here, Max?
No, we'll be talking about Power Rangers 2017 next week, and
I like that movie.
Stay tuned.
So
I like that movie.
I'd be happy to. That movie's awesome.
Yeah, like you say, if we get one like on this video, it's Power Rangers time. So
we will see highest to lowest if I can get a ticket.
Right.
And if
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
get a ticket. We'll see, but we got some stuff we're cooking up. So
we're going to be covering High and Low, the original, this week on Sneaking to the Classics as well. So that should be great. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, movies are doing great.
Movies are doing great. Keep listening. Keep subscribing. You can watch us now, as we said.
Yep.
We'll be covering all these great movies. So we will sneak in with y'all next time.